Okay, we're recording, ladies. It's May 24th, and we're here to... See, I'm the one that's nervous now. May 24th, and we're here to listen to Beth Ballard story. Ballard. Okay, I apologize. Okay.
No problem.
All right. I'll murder anything you give me. So.
My maiden name.
So first, I'd like to start off with a little prayer. Father, in the name of Jesus, I pray. Thank you so much for gathering us together and let us all communicate together and understand what everyone is saying. We are just so blessed that we're able to share these stories and be able to help other people and learn from them ourselves. We welcome everything that you have to offer to teach us, Father, and we ask you to open up our eyes, our ears, and our arms to those in need. And in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, Beth, would you like to start with telling your story?
Sure. This started 20 years ago, so I've been battling with this for 20 years now. Just 6 months after I got married, something happened. I was working in a plastics factory, molding injection, and it was a lot of repetitive motion and heavy lifting. And I'm the kind of person that if somebody doesn't get me what I need or do what I need done, I'm going to do it. And so I can't exactly tell you how I got RSD or CRPS along with fibromyalgia. I just know that something happened. It started out with lower back pain, and then started going down my left leg, swelling my both feet. My husband would take me to the ER middle of the night, early hours of the morning, just to get some pain injections, because we didn't know where to go, what to do. My family doctor said, "Oh, that's a muscle sprain, let's do some physical therapy." So I tried regular physical therapy. Didn't help. I tried massage therapy. Didn't help. Next doctor steps up to the plate. "Well, you're crazy." Which, we all probably heard that. You tend to, after a while, you take that to heart. But we also got to remember that they're not perfect and we aren't either. So it progressed to the point that I couldn't hardly walk on my left leg at all, let alone wear anything on it. Couldn't stand air movement. Couldn't stand fabric touching it. All the skin sensitivity issues I couldn't stand. So it would be uncommon for me to run around with sweatpants on with the right leg, fully covered and the left leg's chopped off above the knee. That's crazy, but that's what I had to wear. I went to one doctor who was a sports medicine, I believe it's called. He did Botox injections, and he said these were supposed to last for 3 months. I was lucky if they lasted 3 weeks. I went on to another doctor, and another doctor, and another doctor. Finally, I'm not kidding, the 10th doctor in Grand Rapids, which is 2 hours away from me, or not 2 hours, an hour and a half. We told him what was going on, what I was feeling, and right away he said, "Ma'am, you have RSD." I said, "What the heck is that? Never heard of it." And he told me what it was, and he asked me if I broke anything, was I in a car accident, all the normal things. I couldn't tell him what, other than my job, repetitive twisting, bending, lifting. That was it. That was my whole 8 to 10 hours a day. He suggested that we try a spinal cord stimulator. And I went for the trial, and part of it, wires are sticking out of your back, and part of it is worked so well that when I had it turned on, I felt no pain in my left leg. I could even lay on my left side, which is something I can't do without it turned on. I'm a big advocate for getting a spinal cord stimulator, but some people have reservations or they didn't work. Not everything works. You're a good advocate for what? Pardon me? You said you're a good advocate for what? Spinal cord stimulators. Okay, then. I have one. I've had it implanted for a little over 10 years now. And I've had a couple revisions. And a revision is where they might add another lead or another, or take out a lead. I have 2 leads, and one is to my neck and my C2 or C3 cervical collar. And that controls the pain in my left arm. And it will also bleed over to my right arm if my right arm's bothering me. My second lead is for my left leg, and that also can bleed over to my right leg when I need it there.
So, how many leads can you have? Is there like for every single pain you that differs, you have a different lead? How does that work?
Well, as far as I know right now, you only can have 2 leads per unit, a receiver that's implanted either like near your waistband in front of your body or somewhere on your backside, which I have mine on my backside. More comfortable for clothing. So if you needed like a 3rd or 4th lead, when I had mine done, you would have to have another unit put in, implanted, and then you can have more leads to cover whatever area it is. Within the spinal cord unit, your controller that you have, it turns your receiver on and it can return your receiver off. You also have a real heavy-duty magnet that can turn it off. So you usually carry one or the other with you at all times, which I usually carry my unit. Are you using it now? At this moment right now, I use it daily or every other day. Good. It depends on what's giving me the issue. If I have a migraine, I can't have it on. That just hurts more, makes my head explode more. But if I go on out shopping, I have it on.
So how does that affect your daily living?
You're more careful of weight that you're carrying, but you're able to be more active than I was before. And how's the pain? How's the what? How is the pain level? That decreases the pain level for me, either 60 to 70%. Most doctors are happy if it covers 40%. And it doesn't hurt to lay on it? No, The only time that my receiver in my backside ever bothers me is my dog stretches his legs and his foot pokes the incision area. So what about the leads, the wires that are hanging out? They don't get caught on things? Oh, no. The trial is only when the wires are hanging outside. Once you're approved for the full thing, the wires are internalized and they run in and out of your spinal cord canal. Okay.
Well, how does that process work for SCS?
To get approved?
Yes. How did you go about that?
Well, when the last thing doctor, the one that I see, said that let's do the trial, he showed me a film on what a woman's life was like with it and without it. And I watched, the film and he answered my questions
if it helps the pain, do it.
Yeah, it's helped tons and tons. The only thing that I have problems with, as in clothes-wise, shoes are a very hard thing for me to find.
Yeah.
And when I was working, it wasn't uncommon for me to take like 3 or 4 pairs of shoes every day. Because after my stimulator was implanted, I went to work, back to work, and I worked for 5 years until my neck got worse.
Wow.
And
It really improved your daily living that much?
My quality of life increased back till I felt like I was a normal person again. It is, and not everything works for everybody, but, just for me, I'm saying it worked tremendously for me, and I would do it again if I had to have it done.
Yeah, I have a daughter that has RSD for how long? Over 30 years now. And she just had major surgery in her neck. She had so many migraines and all. And then now, after the surgery, they put a plate in, and then they had to put disc in. And she's still having migraines, and she's still in a lot of pain. I think I may suggest this to her.
I don't know what it would do for migraines, because I still get migraines, but it's due to the arthritis in my neck.
Well, she has the migraines are lessened. She used to have 3 and 4 a week. She said now it's down to maybe 3 a month or not even 1 a week. But
Oh, wow.
better.
Wow.
Oh, that's great.
So,
But the idea is, to live with this, I've had it, 28, 29 years, whatever. But I found that now that, there's days that you're fine, there's days that you're not. It's amazing that, in fact, I was in the ER at supper time last night. I went to have ablations in my spine, and the doctor said, I told him I fell and I hurt my arm, and my arm was horribly, the pain was awful. They thought I broke it. I went to the ER, they x-rayed it, and then it seemed that it was still bad, and this morning I woke up, the pain is gone.
wow.
Totally gone. And my daughter and I talked about it last night, and she said it has to be, you just had a flare-up.
Yeah.
Have you forgot all the things you tell people, but did you forget, man, that it's like 3 or 4 times worse than a fracture? I said, I think I did. I must have.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would ask her, tell her to check it out with her pain doctor if that's a possibility for her to try.
Yes, there's I'm not too far from Boston. We have all the top stuff up here, and she has the best insurance. She has like 3 or 4 insurances, and
That's a lucky girl.
the insurance.
Well, Beth, is there certain questions that one should be consider asking when getting a SCS?
Yeah, what stage?
I would say at any stage. I mean, especially if you've gone this many years, and if your daughter's having that many issues, I would ask right away. I mean, it never hurts to ask, is it possible? They can tell you, yes or no, or absolutely. Like they would say, pardon me?
I said, please find out.
Yeah. I mean, what do they say? There's never a dumb question except for the one that's not asked.
Absolutely.
I would say do it any time, and see if it is a possibility. Like I've asked my doctor about the ketamine infusion, because I do have some days that are really bad. More in the spring when it's wet and rainy and damp and all that. That just kills me. But he's not really big into ketamine. He only wants to do that for people that have migraines. Well, I have them too, but I want to see if it can do anything else.
So
He's
you
not-
can
they're not doing it.
you can do SCS and ketamine at the same time.
I wouldn't see why you couldn't. I think you could. He said, he just didn't do it other than for people that have migraines.
What's his name?
It's Dr. Gospin, and he's in Grand Rapids.
Okay.
And Dr. Javery is the doctor that put in my first stimulator, and to me, he was a godsend, because he's the one that started putting in the stimulator and did one revision, and then he had to leave and then started his own practice down the road. Long history story there, but I want to try to get back into him, because I think he does the ketamine. If I can stay somewhat close to home, I prefer it, but because I have to stay within my insurance loop. But
How far away is he?
Grand Rapids, it's about an hour.
That's that far.
Yeah. But
They always take
the doctors, the doctors around here around the Portage Kalamazoo area. I live in Portage, and I went through just about every one of them or their group. And one of my friends that has RSD lives close by, and she loves this one doctor, and that I would never ever go see again. We just, I don't know if our personalities conflicted, or he had several bad days, or what. I don't know, but I would never go back to him again. And so my only choice was to go to Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
And I mean, even Ann Arbor, the university hospital, in the beginning, they told me I was crazy.
And you know what I don't like is when they look at you, and they always, I hate it when they say, you look good.
Yeah.
I always say, oh, is that what you tell a heart patient? How can you see if you have a heart problem?
It's always difficult when, I went through the same thing at a university here in Michigan, in Ann Arbor, and when they tell you that a CRPS doesn't spread, or that they don't, you bring them in information and they won't read the information that you've brought them, or consider it, or they tell you to meditate, and it makes it very difficult, and you just want to give up, but you have to remember that it's still everybody's learning, and you can't give up, and that's why we're doing what we're doing. We tell our stories so we can help educate other people, and we can learn from each other, and even us CRPSers, RSDers, learn from one another, because again, what works for one may not work for the other, and it's an ever-changing. Nothing's consistent with us.
Yeah. I think, I lean on my faith quite a bit, and sometimes that's the only thing that gets me through those bad nights of the pain, or, of the feeling, I'm the only one in the world, and you can't feel like that, and so, I lean on my faith a lot. I might make emergency phone calls to a friend or something, but I hate to bother people, and I think that's one thing we all suffer through, is not wanting to burden somebody else,
So is there other emergency tools that you use for those types of situations?
I have several CDs of, Native American drums, or the Runes Calling, which that one will drive you insane. And I liked it because I thought it was like on Golden Pond. Well, it wasn't on Golden
That's awesome.
Wonderful. I think we all learn what helps. That's what we need to share with each other. What helps?
Yeah, so
Something that helps me, I can ask you what helps you, and say, okay, I want to try that.
mhm.
Yeah. Well, I have a question. What's a good exercise for people? I mean, when you're having a semi-good day, what works for you to make it better or won't antagonize our little demon that we have? I can't find one that...
Who is Kathy?
This is Beth.
Yeah. So the question is,
My question is, what exercise kind of helps you and, you said yoga, but you don't do the yoga part.
So when I'm very bad, I don't do the yoga part. I just, like when Jane called me tonight, now I was just crying. I said, I don't know if I can do it.
Mhm.
Bless the heart. God, I said, I changed my mind. She said, it's on in 10 minutes. I said, well, wait a minute. Maybe if I listen, it'll help. Just to share. It's help to somebody to understand. Help.
Yeah. That's the hard thing is finding people that understand, And one thing we all have to remember, too, that it's hard on our spouses to stand there or sit there and watch it because they don't know what to do, So I treat my husband to back scratches about every night if I can. It's my way of giving back to him,
That's sweet.
His mother used to do it for him when he was a kid, but, when I'm not having a good day, then he knows that, well, no back scratch tonight, maybe tomorrow.
So, Beth, what have you done to reinvent yourself, and how did that come about for you?
Reinventing myself was very hard because I usually was a book reader or very social. So my way of reinventing myself was getting back into my sewing. My grandmother and different people through going to school, I learned to sew a little bit better, and I started making pet beds and pet outfits and such like that, pet carriers, and blankets. I made, dozens of these double-sided fleece blankets with a foot pocket. Because I don't know about you guys, but my feet are always cold. And so if I don't want to wear socks, I, put my foot in my foot blanket that I made. And I used to do the craft shows. And that helped my self-esteem so much that, something I considered mediocre, people thought was wonderful.
Mhm.
But I did that for several years, and I had to stop doing it for a while because my neck started getting in the way of me sewing. But, it was just something a love of something I did as a child,
Mhm.
That helped me kind of get back into life again. And now I do it for friends and gifts or whatever. I make the blankets or for their new puppy, I might make a dog bed.
And that's such a wonderful thing, too, because, I find that when we take our illness and be able to help others without doing these activities, and what I'm trying to say is, when we do the activities now, we're taking away from our pain. And when we take away from our pain and we're helping other people, it helps rejuvenate us at the same time. And it's such a wonderful feeling to know that we're able to help someone else out there at the same time. And it just, it's a wonderful feeling, and it's so therapeutic to get through your own pain.
Yes. I would say to people that find something that you loved, or something your grandmother might have taught you, or an uncle. If you're into carving, or it doesn't matter what it is, as long as that it's your thing, and it deviates your mind from the pain into centering in on the project you're working on. Maybe it's making jewelry. I tried that, but I didn't do very good.
But I think you're smart to do it because I find when I do my seminars and things up here, they say, "Why are you doing this? You're in pain." And I say, "That's a secret for me. If I can help other people, that helps my pain." They look at me like I'm nuts.
I like that.
When I got on disability, that's what the federal government only could put down was that I was crazy. So anymore, if somebody tells you you're not, ask them what doctor's office they want the papers to prove it from. And, I just ended up developing a sense of humor about, somebody calls me crazy. Well, you want the federal government? Yeah.
My daughter in California just got her disability, and she couldn't get it. I said, "Peg, use what I told you." She got it on mental illness. I said, "I don't care how you get it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what
It doesn't matter as long as you're bringing a contribution in. I was talking to Marie about this earlier, when I wasn't able to work, I got a disability, and then after I had my spinal cord stimulator implanted, I got off disability and, was able to work for 5 years, and then trying to get it back again when I could not work anymore. That was a real hard in Michigan to do, and so I had to get my attorney again, and, finally the guys just said, "Well, okay, we're just going to put down your nuts because we can't prove that you're not." Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter as long as you feel like you're bringing a contribution into your home. That's how I was always taught, both my parents worked, and that was the ethics that they put down in me. So, I've always worked, paper routes, babysitting, whatever, until I was an adult and got a real job, and I was, contributing.
Yeah,
I didn't want to start a new marriage with not bringing in some money.
and that's
Do you have any children?
I got 2 stepchildren. They're great kids. They're in their early and mid-20s now. My stepdaughter, when I would have to go to the emergency room to get a pain injection in the middle of the night, the next day she'd be sitting in the corner of our bedroom coloring, and if I made a sound, she'd jump right up and say, "Do you want me to get Daddy?" This is like a 6-year-old thing that, I could still picture her sitting in the corner of our bedroom, just, waiting if I needed any help. And the kids are still that way to this day. They understand if I need help getting groceries in or, whatever. Now my stepdaughter lives in Grand Rapids. Well, she might hurt. I miss having my daughter close by. They're not stepkids to me. They're my kids,
So
they've been good.
when you mentioned earlier that you had your SCS, the other thing is that I wanted to ask is, does it stop you from doing daily activities that you've done before having the SCS?
No, it helps me more. Before, it was hard for me to stand and do dishes.
Mm-hmm.
And, when I have it on, I'm able to stand longer and...
I should say inhibit you from doing anything.
Right, no, it doesn't. It doesn't, because everything's internalized in your body, and, the only thing you got out external is the thing to turn on your unit or turn it off, turn it up. You need the signal strength turned up. One thing about the stimulator is it does put out this sensory signal through your limbs, and it kind of vibrates or whatever, like, when your foot falls asleep, how it tingles like that. That's what the stimulator does. It tingles
was just going to say that, just like a TENS unit. Yeah.
Yeah. Same principle, but installed, just all the wires and the main mechanism are implanted in your body.
Yeah.
And for me, the TENS unit was a pain in the backside.
Yeah, the TENS unit doesn't work on the sympathetic nerve. But what does is the pulse galvanic stimulator will work.
Oh, okay. That's probably why it didn't work for me, because it was actually more painful when they used it. It just, I couldn't handle it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't like it because, all the wires on the outside, if you wore shorts, they're hanging on behind your, underneath your hem of your shorts, or, you had to wear part of the TENS unit hooked on a pocket or something, and I had a little kid ask me once in the store, you have 2 cell phones? Like, no, I'm not that rich. But the stimulator that I have, the thing to turn it on and off, once you turn your unit on or off, whichever the case may be, you just take it apart and put it in its little pouch. But you do have to recharge your internal battery. And how you do that is you put this disc that's all plugged up to your household plug, and you put this disc over your receiver that's implanted in your backside or wherever. You put that over that receiver, and within a couple hours, your battery's fully charged, because if you let that internal battery run out, then you'll have to have a new one replaced. But I just read yesterday that they're coming out with a new spinal cord stimulator. I can't remember the company because, who's Danny Thomas's hospital thing? Is it St. Thomas?
I think it's St. Jude.
St. Jude, yeah. St. Jude bought the company that my stimulator came from. So now all my stuff, if I need replacement parts or whatever, will come from St. Jude. But it's a different company that's coming out with a stimulator, spinal cord stimulator that does not put out that signal that I feel when I turn mine on.
Okay.
It's that tingling. So I don't know how that one would work. How would you know you got it covered except for your pain's gone? And just, I'd have to look into that one more, but most of them come.
The other thing I wanted to ask you is the drugs that you've taken for CRPS. What has worked for you and what hasn't worked for you?
The ones that I currently take, Lyrica helps with my fibromyalgia better than anything I've tried. Even my husband's done it for his diabetes, but they use it for seizures. Some of those that you make a couple of pills of different kinds that they use for seizures, antidepressants. Those mixtures didn't work for me. Lyrica for the fibromyalgia was the only thing that worked. And I take OxyContin and MS-Contin also. That has helped.
That with it?
Pardon me?
Do you take that with it on the bad days or just all the time? Occasionally?
I take it all the time. Well, the MS-Contin I take twice a day. The OxyContin IR, which is an instant release, I only take that, if I'm really having a bad day and nothing else is working and I got everything turned on and rolled over, so to speak. And, still some pain or skin sensitivity that I, still can't figure out what to do for. I tried it's a pain patch, analgesic pain patches. I could not wear them more than 2 minutes without getting violently ill. And what it turned out to be my problem with that was what's in the adhesive to make that patch stick on your body. It wasn't the medication itself, it was just that adhesive.
Did I know? Did you write and tell him?
I talked to the doctor about it, and he said that was one of the common side effects that they do know. That when they did their FDA trials, that did come out. But
you're talking about the fentanyl patch now?
Yeah, that's no analgesic thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I use that all the time now.
And that works for you?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It helps. It helps quite a bit.
Yeah, when I would have it on for 2 minutes, I could feel pain difference, but after that, I would just, be violently ill, and I wouldn't have to take it off.
Oh, that's sad.
But
I also use lidoderm patches.
I use those, but how do you get around them slipping off in the summer?
How do I what?
Mine, because I would put them on my neck and my shoulder.
Yeah.
And I would try taping them down, and they still would not stick, so I use that, but in a cream form, and that kind of helps.
Yes, I had that one. When I use the patches, I take them, fold it in half, and I round the corners off, okay? And then I take this folded in half, I take a little niche out of it. Because if you're putting it, they're square. If you're going to put them on a concave piece of your body, they're not going to stay good. But I cut them a little bit and making them curve, they stay much better.
Oh, wow. So you got...
I didn't know that one. Yeah. I teach women in the hospital, they'll say, okay, hold it. I'm going to teach you how to use them. They look at me like, okay, big shot. And I'll do one and I let them do the other. And they go into that room and they say, oh, I learned something today.
And it's amazing, educated ladies, and we can teach them something. Wow, that's a new trick for me. I didn't know that one.
Try it.
Yeah.
I learned that because I put them on and they roll off in the night.
Right.
Now, I get mad at them. I mean, they cost $8.50 a piece. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, I would use them sparingly, and like you, I cut them in half just to make them last longer, but I couldn't make them stick. So
that's the secret. You just cut the corners round, and then you fold it in half on, not because it's got that sheet on it. Don't do it on that side because it'll slide. So you just fold it in half on the side, it's not going to slide, and you just round your corners off. And it'll stay.
wow.
Right.
You need to post that one.
Praise God.
I will.
Feel free to post it on the site.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. My daughter spoke to me yesterday, or the day before, I think it was, about, getting my site up and running. And I said yes, because we're working on something quite big, getting more support groups in the country. Even if I have to fund them myself, I'll do it.
It's awesome.
And that's how we started out. And we started out, and National gave us seed money to start our support group. And I want to do that again.
Well, you're going to have to come on the show and tell us about it, Mary.
What?
Yeah, you might have dropped in visitors. We'll fly into you.
Yeah. Come on in, tell us about it. Come on the show.
I will. Maybe I will. I'm going to be on Joey's. July is RSDS Awareness Month in Mass. We're going on our 20th or 21st year. No, we started in 1990. Well, anyway, it's like 30 years.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah, and I said I can wallpaper the office with all proclamation. But now I decided I'm going to, now what we do is I've asked my pain doctor if he would accept it and hang it in his office, and he said he would. And
awesome.
Yeah, and then Regular Women has one in the pain office. So that's where we're putting them in Massachusetts.
Praise
I love
God.
to give them a gift and say, here, hang it in your office.
That's
And
awesome.
give them a doctor's ER award and they'll work like heck for you.
Huh. Yeah. That's an idea to try.
So I'm
Are you in
gonna.
a support group?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Is any of us in a support group?
No.
Just
in the prayer group.
Yeah, I haven't been in your prayer group. I think I signed up for it, but I need to get active again. You know, I am very active. When I get on Joey's, I'll tell you everything we're doing up here.
Okay,
We're really
awesome.
hitting it hard. Yeah.
So I'm sort of gonna ask you. I'm sorry.
We've been fighting for CRPS. How long have we been looking for a head? 30 years, okay?
Wow.
And I think national should be a lot further down the road than they are. Getting that over 90,000 a year, I think he needs to get off his neck. But, so I'm going to get off mine. And I'm asking a lot of people to help me.
Okay.
And they're coming along, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
There's 8 in my family with RSD.
wow.
Do you think as a family, so many traits in my family is heart, cancer, arthritis. Do you think RSD is another one that could be a family thing? Or
Hereditary.
It's a pre-genetic component of chromosome. So Gary Bennett is NIH's, he's a researcher for us. And he's on a grant up in Canada. And, so there's 10 of us. 10 of us. My mother, all my sisters, my kids, my sister's kids. And it's gone for 4 generations.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
How
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I am too. But you know what? This is something that people need to know.
Yeah.
And they can make justice for it.
Yeah. Well,
If
it's been
you-
around since the Civil War, I've heard, and
What did it say?
RSD or CRPS has been around since the Civil War.
Absolutely.
Yes.
They figured that it's gone that far, but I would imagine it's probably been before that. But,
Well, I'm back to the Civil War. Well, remember when the soldiers got their limbs shot off? Come on, their nerves are shot. They're the same thing.
And the problem with that is and we're having problems getting recognition for it is because we're always changing the name of CRPS because there's always some factors that just don't fit for the name, and they find out a little bit more, and they say, okay, well, this diagnosis doesn't fit this name.
And I think it's not regional. It doesn't stay in one region.
That's right, because they thought it just affected the central nervous system, and then they found out that the parasympathetic system and the central nervous system were fighting each other, and now they're continuing. It's like, there's no pattern. It's inconsistent and so complex. And when we get CRPS, we get tags with us. And when I say tags or baggage, we wind up with some of us fibromyalgia or strokes or seizures and kidney disease and gastroparesis and IBS and CRPS, a full body. And keeping our systems going, is tough when you're trying to balance everything. And trying to explain it. Yeah, you have to live minute by minute at times, and it can get very challenging.
I agree with the minute by minute, and sometimes that's all you can do.
Oh, yeah.
You can't cry 24/7, but sometimes it's just get that minute and then maybe go for 2 minutes.
Yeah, sometimes it's down to the second,
Yep.
You've been there before in those second moments, and it seems like it's 1,000 years, and you just can't remember the number to call for help. That person's number that you've called 1,000,000 times because the pain is so great. Everything is just all blank, and you're not thinking logically.
No, in fact, I just had my new phone put back on. It was off for 2 months. I said, I think I'll save some money. But when I get in a pain cycle, I can't remember diddly. So yes, I put it on and I can, what is it called? Go down to the person's name and just press it. Like you say, you can't remember.
Oh. Yeah. If I don't write something down 2 or 3 places, I will forget.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I'm only 52, and I should have better memory than that.
I was going to ask you how old you were, but I didn't think I would.
Oh, no, I don't mind telling people. No, I'm 52. I was just 30 when I started.
I'm the grandmother here. I'm 78.
Wow. You can't be that old. Your voice doesn't sound that old.
No, she doesn't.
You have that Eastern accent.
Well, Beth, if you had one advice to give to another CRPSer, what do you think that might be?
Because there's so many things.
Well, let's narrow it down to maybe somebody that's new with CRPS. What would you tell them?
Research is the best knowledge. Get as most knowledge on the subject as you can, and copy it. So you have those papers to bring to your physician, if it's your family doctor or whatever. And my second thing would find somebody who has this too, because that can be another resource of information. That can be your lifeline to so many things, and mainly to tell you are human and you're not alone. Because so many of us, when we first figure out what we have, you feel alone. You don't know anybody in this whole wide world that has what you have, because you are so different. And don't believe you're crazy.
So
you're not believe. Someone says you're crazy, don't believe it.
You talk about resources and that. Is there certain resources that you've used in the past that you think that you could offer to someone else?
I just looked up the words on the internet and followed every site, every blog that I could find. My husband did the same thing too, because he wanted to know, to understand what was going on with me. And we just followed up. I've made phone calls to people. It all comes down to your determination to find out what's wrong with you and to understand. Like, I never knew there was a sympathetic nervous system. I didn't know that. I thought there was just one. And just keep, researching that subject, I understood more and more and more. And that all doctors have, know everything about it. They might know a little bit, but they don't know it all.
Did you know Congress just passed a bill that all doctors now that are studying in college have to know, they have to study it in college now.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
What a blessing that is.
That's awesome.
The other thing I want to let you know is that when, and this was Dr. Chopra told me, he came to my house, and they were going to he was starting a new group for children.
Okay.
And he said, is there anything that you can, tell me this and that? And he wanted to know, how to help them being a mother with children of it. And I said, and I helped him with it. And then he said, there's another thing. I said, what about the fibro? He said, most people that have RSD, or now CRPS, but, have fibro. The reason is the fibro, the nerve for the fibro and CRPS, they're on the same wave channel. So So they go up the spine the same way.
Really?
So most of us have it. I went to speak, I got invited to speak at a fibro meeting, and half of those people came to my meeting that next month because half of them had it.
I know I have it. I have all 12 points.
Yeah. There you go.
And there's the Arthritis Foundation puts out books on fibro. They have one on RSD.
NIH, National Institute of Health, and they're free. They're free.
Oh, yeah, because the Arthritis Foundation is not.
No, and I don't buy this. I call, because I'm an organization, I call NIH, and I order them by the hundreds. And then I have free mailing, so then I mail them to the patients. So it helps, you know what I mean?
That is awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is.
Because that helps, newbies that, don't understand, they don't know. And,
when we started, way back in the 80s, it was 83 or something like that, I had to learn DOS on the computer. I didn't know anything about computers.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. Learn DOS, the people would call us long distance, or national would send it up and call us, and then I would have to write letters to these people. Our phone bills were $1,000 a month.
Oh, my goodness.
How blessed we are today.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
I know this is sort of
The reason why I asked about, is anyone involved in support groups, I think it's wise to share. And I commend you, Maria, for doing this, because this is one way of sharing. And it's that, some people that are dead with this disease, they're not going to get on the internet and try to look for it. They're so squirrely up in pain.
Well,
They don't know where to look. They don't know what doctor to go to.
right. And another thing is
it's over Christmas.
it's so hard for them to type.
They don't know what to do.
Right, and I have to thank God for it, because this isn't from off of me, but and thank you. But again, I find myself many times not in a support group for the fact that it's difficult many times for me to type, and when you're starting to type out what situation happened and how you're feeling and so forth, my fingers and that cramp up and they hurt, and then trying to express how I feel, it doesn't come out the way that it really is online many times, or I feel that I'm being judged, and so I'm one of those people that usually stay back, and I have a specific person or a couple people that I speak with on the phone because of being so afraid of being shut down. Because, we're shut down so many times from doctors and that. And just because you have CRPS doesn't mean, or RSD, doesn't mean that the other person that has RSD, CRPS is going to understand you either. Because, you both have different things. You're the same, but yet you're different. And trying to find the person to keep searching for that person, you can't give up. Because there is somebody out there for you. It's like your soulmate. But you can't give up. And that was one of the things that I did, which was a mistake. And so that's one of the reasons that I was trying to develop Let Your Voice Be Heard. Because I wanted people to know that you're not alone. You're not alone out here. And there's other people out here that do understand you, and you can't be silent, because being silent is a sin. You're not helping yourself, you're not helping others, and you're just condemning everyone around you, and that's my opinion. But we should speak out. So people can understand us and help. We can help each other.
We're still here
I wanted to ask one more thing here. I know this is an oxymoron, and I'd like to hear, if you want to speak, from anybody. Here's the oxymoron. I'd like to know what is the best and worst for CRPS that you found in your life.
The best what?
Well, example. For me, what I'm trying to ask is the best. Without CRPS happening in my life, I wouldn't have become so compassionate towards others. It has taught me how to value the simple things in life and to appreciate other people's pain. And the worst thing for me was trying to reinvent myself. So that's sort of what I'm asking. I know it's an oxymoron, but if you have something positive that has come out of CRPS, I'd like to hear what it is.
A growing faith.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Me too, Jane. That's my faith is wonderful. I mean, I always know that God is there for me. Before, it was just, it's okay. I'm a Christian woman, okay. But now, yeah. And now, because I know that, and I love Jesus, and I'm a Christian woman, I know I can help other people.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm here for now. I mean, I have 8 children, but they were all adults and all gone and grown. It's like, what are you going to do now? You're going to help somebody else. You're going to keep growing. Mm-hmm. It's experience.
Yes.
And like I told you earlier, Maria, my faith is what I lean on the most, and that helps me get through rough times, rough patches, and it makes me reach out more, where I started going more inward, and it does make you seek others and help others. Oh, yeah.
Well, I'd like to thank you all for coming tonight. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to add?
I wanted to thank Beth for sharing her story. Yes, I had one more comment. But I just wanted to let people help me to let people know that, as I said, July is our CS in Massachusetts. We were the first one to ever write a proclamation. And I'll be on Joey's program, I think he said, maybe the end of June.
Okay.
He hasn't given me the date yet.
We'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm writing a book also, so I'll let you know when that's near.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Yeah, it's on the onset of our estate. Not me, it's the organizations and whatnot, who wrote it and how we got going and all.
Okay.
About like, Audrey Thomas is the one who started it in New Jersey, and that's how we met her and she met us and whatnot and all.
Wow.
Dr. Schwartzman, and she's a dear friend of our family now. So there's a lot to go into it, but I'm very blessed.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, me also.
I'm blessed, period, just to finding, just having friends, that can understand the CRPS and that. And God has just been so good to me. His mercy never ends. Whatever His will has decided for me, I'm going to accept. And I'm very grateful. I think that's the biggest thing. I'm so grateful to appreciate life, the little things in life.
Yes.
People don't think about picking up those forks.
It's important that we try to reach the newcomers that are coming in. And thank you for this program. It has helped me, just
No, I was nervous. I think it helped me a ton to get it out and not feel judged, because I did this, not this way, but I tried telling what happened to me, and I got judged, and I was a little bit nervous about that, but Maria, you're a wonderful, wonderful, woman, and so easy to talk to. But
Thank you.
Totally said yes.
Yeah, she's just a good Christian friend for us.
Thank you so much. You guys
Can't
are...
have enough of them.
I'm glad to have you guys too. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and say goodnight, and God bless you all, and thank you so much for sharing, and I know I've learned a lot here and I hope to hear from you guys real soon.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.